Yesterday was National Bullying Day and National Domestic Violence Awareness Day. Well, it's still a National Domestic Violence and Bullying Month. But we still have to make sure that we don't get picked on or we don't see other people picking on people. If that happens, we need to follow these tips. And I devoted the entire half hour to this. And I devoted the entire half hour to bullying and our latest on Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which that video will be up shortly. So we still have to make sure that we follow those tips, but I'm not going to go a lot into this detail because we already did a whole segment on about it. But what I am going to talk about, though, is cyberbullying. It's all over the news every day. We hear stories about people being cyberbullied, like saying you're fat, slut, bitch, I hope you die. Mind you, I'm not saying them, I'm quoting the bullies. I mean, we see it all in the news. But there are warning signs that your child may be a victim of cyberbullying. According to life coach Adam Jablin, parents, we need to be open and honest and realistic to our kids. October is National Bullying Prevention Month. One of the very 5 students report being bullied at school each year. 1 in 5 students ages 9 and 12 say have been a victim of bullying. Don't act like you don't know, and you've been there because none of us have. We've never seen these devices. But as parents, we need to be open, honest, and realistic to our kids. It's very important to let your child know the appropriate action they can put by someone. It's to tell the authority figure. Who is that? Your parents, your teachers, your principal. Every school district has to have resources. And in our case, when I went to school in Flower Bluff, they had to report a bully thing. Now, Robstown ISD is kicking it up a notch. How? Simple. Let me show you. Let me play this for you. Let's see. There we go. Take a look.
Robstown Independent School District also just adopted a new system. This one is for reporting bullying, all while staying anonymous. Our Sunrise reporter Cordero McMurray visited the district to show us how this works and why it's needed.
Superintendent for Robstown Independent School District, Dr. Jose Moreno, says over the last few years, Robstown ISD used an app where students could report bullying. Feedback from staff and students led the district to adopt a new system called My Voice, giving students a way to report incidents in further detail while maintaining privacy.
That our students can use their voice to report, to be able to continue a safe and learning environment for all of our students.
Some people feel or are uncomfortable to speak out, maybe at home or to their own family members or maybe even to their friends, or scared of being judged.
But now it can do it anonymously without anyone knowing that they were the ones who did it.
Dr. Moreno says every district facility will have posters with the QR code in several locations around campus and in a few discrete spots as well.
Well, the great idea that one of our students had is, why don't you put it in the restroom? And beyond the restroom, put it inside one of the stalls. That way we have a little bit more privacy to be able to report if we feel we need to report something.
So how does the reporting system work? Well, when a student sees a poster, they take their phone, scan the QR code, or if a student doesn't want to be seen scanning a poster in the hallways, they'll be given stickers where they will have easier access.
Many people really are scared to speak up, and I feel like this is a more discreet way to speak up so that people could feel comfortable with it.
And it's just a really cool way, a different way to, hear the voices of those who do not want to come to the school It's just another resource that they can use.
Dr. Moreno says once the district receives a report, it's sent to the appropriate campus anonymously and protocols to address the issue begin.
Knowing that our parents have a choice to be here, our students have a choice to be here, we want to be able to empower them also to know that they have safe schools and a safe environment by providing them My Voice reporting system.
Superintendent Dr. Moreno says the My Voice QR reporting system is set to launch Friday, October 22nd. Reporting in Robstown, I'm Cordero McMurray, Chris, 6 Sunrise.
That could happen next week. And so I congratulate Robstown SD
Morning. Corpus Christi police are looking.
I congratulate the people at Robstown ISD who created this app and are still doing a great job in telling us how to report these victims. We need to make sure that we gotta make sure. Listen, we all have to make sure we have to report the bullies. And both the bullies and the parents need counseling. And as for cyberbullying, there are ways. I mean, there's warning signs. But there's tips also. And when we return, I'm going to tell you 10 tips for teens to prevent. I'm going to tell you teens 10 tips to prevent cyberbullying from happening. Please stay with us. Tonight we're talking about cyberbullying. And it's a big issue going all around. 42% of kids say they've been bullied on the internet. We need to give teachers, educators, their tools. And both the bullies and the parents of the bully need counseling. As for cyberbullying, it's technology, social media. Detective Sergeant Rick, which is a certified New Jersey officer, creator, and founder of Always Connected, a program developed to help law enforcement, educators, young youth workers, youth parents, and children how to utilize technology in a positive way. And he's also contributing to the development of STOP, an innovative app for Android, an app which teams parents stand against cyberbullying and allows students to support cyberbullying to school and local authorities. For teens, here are some tips. The number one thing you need to do is educate yourself. You need to understand exactly what it is, research what constitutes cyberbullying, how and where it occurs, and talk with your friends about what they're seeing and experiencing. I will provide a full set of full segment of bullying that I did last week in the description below, or on top of the video. Number 2, protect your password. Safeguard your password and all private information to inquisitive peers. You don't want to give bullies the opportunity to post false, private, embarrassing information or pictures to social media pages, or send them to the whole school through email. That's not just to reply all. Number 3, keep photos PG. Before you send a racy photo of yourself to a peer posted online, consider it as something you want others to see, especially your family. Boys can use this picture as an ammunition to make your life miserable. Pause before you post. Don't do anything that might compromise your reputation. People will judge you based on how you print them online. And like point number 3, bullies can use it as fuel. Raise awareness. Being awareness not willing refers to movement, a club, or event or a campaign. That's like the old saying, knowledge is power. 5, raise awareness. Bring awareness to cyberbullying, whether it be through moment, a club, or an event. 6. Number 6, set up privacy controls. Restrict who can see your online profiles to only trusted friends. Number 7, this may be what your parents may not want you to do. Something my mom told me not to do. Google yourself. Every once in a while, search your name on a major search engine to see if any personal information or photos come up. If you find something that can be used by cyberbullies to target you, take action and have it removed. 10. Don't be a cyberbully. Remember the phrase your parents enlisted you as: treat others as you want to be treated. If you are mean to others online, it reinforces the idea that kind of behavior is acceptable. 10. Log out of your accounts on public computers. that someone is not sharing your passwords, don't give anyone the slightest chance to pose as you or share false information. Also, by staying logged in, you run the risk of bully changing your password and locking you out a period of time. And most importantly, unplug. That is a virtual world. In the case of Amy's Baking Company from years ago, they attacked them and they attacked back. The boys attacked them and they attacked back. The advice for everyone, for kids and parents, is to unplug. That is a virtual world. If you're going on chat rooms and saying, I hope you, like someone calls you and says, I hope you, hang up. Don't just because I'm saying unplug, that doesn't mean unplug your phone, not let customers in, not close down the school. There are tools. There's tools that everybody needs. And, we have to be willing to share these tools with all of our kids. And the NCPC has a lot of tips for cyberbullying. You got to start an anti-bullying program. You need to sign a pledge, and raise awareness for the cyberbullying problem in your community. And you need to talk about it. Talk to your parents. Talk to a teacher. You need to ignore them. Never really tell them to stop. Laugh. If someone's just pointing at you, trying to be funny, not hurtful, save the evidence. Block access to those who made cyberbullying. Report to the contact provider. Call the police. And never pass along messages to cyberbullying. That is a virtual world. I take bullying and cyberbullying very seriously, which is why I created a Facebook group about a year ago. I made a Facebook group months ago called Stop Bullying, Speak Up, which was inspired by Cartoon Network. We have to give everybody the tools. And in some cases, no school doesn't want to take action on this. Nobody wants to. Nobody wants this to happen. There's other warning signs like depressed, angry, uneasy about going to school, which is the cause of truancy, stops using their device, nervous, jumping about their devices, makes passive statements, suicide. Which is a lot of stuff, but we have to discipline the kids because of bullying. But how about disciplining them for minor behavior, which could be easily handled by a parent? Why just basically not discipline them from just minor behavior, something that can be done with a parent? Chris Cuomo will have that answer when we return. Welcome back. Imagine going into the post office. Welcome back. Imagine going into the post office and seeing these crimes on those 10 most wanted flyers, classroom edition. Burping, doodling, throwing a tantrum. That's bad behavior to be sure, but is it worthy of arrest at 5 years old? Everything that Chris Cuomo listed back in 2012 are crimes that got kids handcuffed by police. But do we want law and order in our classrooms? Absolutely. But at what cost? Here's Chris Cuomo.
Bad things can happen at school. Guns, drugs, bullying. And as you can see in all those videos on the internet, classrooms run amok.
Shut up and sit down.
So it is for good reason that more and more police are on the beat in hallways and classrooms across the country. But in this climate of controlling behavior, have we gone too far? Case in point, the Texas girl's in the news right now for getting spanked. After she got caught helping another student cheat, Taylor got a paddle to the backside. Too hard, their mothers say, by a male vice principal.
Giving her a swat behind closed doors? That is creepy.
Yep, spanking, still legal in schools in 19 states. The 9-year-old in Gastonia, North Carolina, suspended for sexual harassment because, get this, he was overheard telling a friend
I said Miss Terry was cute.
his teacher was cute. The school later apologized and forced the principal to retire. And this video stunned the nation in 2005. Remember the 5-year-old girl handcuffed by St. Petersburg, Florida police for throwing a tantrum in preschool? How can this be? Advocates say the combination of cops and kids in the classroom is having all kinds of unintended consequences. Some of them so ridiculous, you literally can't make this stuff up.
Your daughter's school decided to have her arrested?
When she was just 12 years old, Alexa was arrested in her New York City middle school, searched, handcuffed, taken away by 4 of New York's finest.
Had you ever been in a police station?
No.
Had you ever been arrested?
No.
Alexa's now 15, but remembers her crime like it was yesterday. Doodling on a desk, with an erasable marker, no less.
So you wrote on the desk.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like pulling a knife on somebody, but you're not supposed to write on the desk, true?
Yes.
Are you a graffiti artist?
No.
Did you used to spray paint right all over the walls in school?
Never.
Were you known as that?
No.
Alexa, like some funny tag name that you had that you used?
No.
Alexa had the very bad luck to be attending a school with a zero tolerance for graffiti, and, as her mother would tell you, a similar score in common sense. She says the school officers search her, make her take off some of her clothes. Then, they don't just call her mother, Maraima Camacho. They call the cops from the precinct across the street.
When I saw the police officer go for the handcuffs, and I said, you gotta be kidding me.
So they arrest your daughter, they put her in handcuffs. Like a thug.
Right. And she was not resisting arrest.
Turned me over and hands behind my back.
And you got handcuffed?
Metal handcuffs.
At 12?
Yes.
For doodling on a desk?
Erasable marker.
She was crying. She was so scared.
Maybe you find it hard to understand how a little girl gets arrested for writing on a desk. After all, it's not like she perpetrated some heinous crime, something really inexcusable like illegal burping.
I burped and I said, "Excuse me." She said to quit talking, I'm disrupting.
Francisco Montano is 15 now, plays baseball. He's a slugger. But 2 years ago, when he was 13 in the 7th grade at Cleveland Middle School in Albuquerque, New Mexico, he says he got busted for burping.
11 years ago.
The school and the police say it was more than that. He was disrupting the class and refused to obey the teacher. And for that, he got arrested.
Officer came up to me. He said because I was disrupting the educational process, he handcuffed me and he drove me to the detention center.
Then the detention center called his mother, Annette Montano.
And he said, our son was arrested and detained for belching in class. I said, are you seriously telling me he's in jail for burping? And he said, that's what it looks like to me, ma'am.
Francisco was never prosecuted. Instead, he's now suing the school and the police. The Albuquerque police say they only make arrests if the disruption is so bad the teacher can't teach and students can't learn. America's Most Wanted? They are not, says civil rights advocate Judith Brown Deannis.
It is ridiculous. It is extreme discipline. We have gone over the top with this, and instead of teaching children the right behaviors, instead of nurturing them, we're hauling them off in handcuffs.
Francisco Negron is with the National School Boards Association.
I don't think there's a public school to prison pipeline, and I certainly don't think that the presence of school resource
and here's
officers
my point coming up.
Is in some way contributing to that.
We know there are some bad things going on in our schools. There's gang activity, heavy drug activity, bullying in the extreme where the violence...
You know what, let's wrap this up. You know what, we're going to wrap this up.
Violence is real.
Sorry to cut this, but we're going to wrap it up. Like he said, it's like this. We know there are bad things going on in our schools. Gang activity, drug activity, guns in our schools, bullying in the extreme, and the violence is real. And every day, every time, you need to make sure, that those kids get pulled out of that situation. That's all we're talking about. Everybody wants safety and discipline. Those are the two main things you want for your kids. Safety and discipline. But we don't need to see our kids being hauled off in handcuffs and sent to the juvenile detention center for very minor behavior that could have easily be handled by a parent. But 9 years ago, there was an education department survey that shows that 100,000 kids that are arrested in schools. And basically, for like dumb reasons get suspended. And when we return, you'll see those reasons. We've been talking about school and discipline and bullying also, but getting suspended, arrested for like dumb reasons. That's what I want to go into. Number 1, creative haircut. This 12-year-old student worked middle school in San Antonio decided to have NBA star Matt Bonner, NBA star, drawn on the back of his head. That was a creative haircut, but he was given an in-school suspension for violating the school's dress code. Was that a dumb reason to get suspended? No, he just violated the school's dress code. Number 2, hugging a friend. As you know, Southwest Middle School in Palm Bay has a no strict hugging policy, which is PDA. Until she was suspended from the game, but it turns out rewarding for harassment keeps students focused on learning. This was from the Stir. Number 3, T-bowing. 44 people decided to do a T-bowing stance in the middle of the hallways in River Bend, New York. 4 boys were kneeling, 40 others, so 44 people got suspended because they caused a traffic jam. Next was going to hair for charity. 10-inch ponytail required by locks of love, 2.5 inches. But he was suspended at his school in Madison Academy for violating the school's dress code that boys' hair must be off the collar, off by the ears, and out of the eyes. If the academy says so, the academy says so. I don't think that's a dumb reason to get suspended. Now this next one, 6-year-old, was suspended for saying, "I'm sexy and I know it," to his girl in his lunch line. And he was suspended for sexual harassment. He's 6. And the other one we just talked about. He got suspended. This kid got suspended for calling his teacher cute. All he said was, "Miss Taylor is cute." That's cute. It's just a compliment. How can you suspend someone for sexual harassment? Suspend someone giving a comment saying you're cute? That's not sexual harassment. And finally, chivalry. It's just someone who just wants to hold the door. That's simple. Someone wants to hold the door and someone wants to hold the door. Nobody wants that. Alright, before we go, let's get to our COVID cases. Let's quickly go to the school. Let's just go for the school because we're almost out of time here. Because mainly I want to focus more than a half hour. Alright. Tuesday, 1 high school student, but no others. That's good. Yesterday, 1 elementary student and 1 ECC student. That's great. Keep it up. And as for New Essex County, the cases are dropping low because of the vaccines. We're at 60%, but we have to get up to 70% to get back to normal. So keep doing what you're doing and following those tips. Wearing masks, making sure you're 6 feet, making sure you wash your hands, and making sure that you know what you're doing. And right now, FPIC is at stage 2. You need to keep it that way. Get yourself vaccinated. If you have that, if you're have weak immune systems, get yourself that booster shot. We need to make sure we get vaccinated so we go back doing the things that we love to do most. And that's all for this edition of Cut Me a Break Wednesday, going into Thursday, coming up on Friday. Is your 9-year-old out of control? We'll see you again for Give Me a Break Friday night. Talk to you guys about the homecoming dance, which is going to be coming up on Saturday for all Fall Love students. How can you make sure that you're being safe at homecoming? We'll tell you. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you on Friday. Good night.